Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahi Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukbhaga Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Sai Ram. Good evening and welcome to day 9 of the Atma Chalisa Parayanam. Yesterday, on day 8, we spoke about the law of karma or the law of cause and effect. And we are going systematically progressing by understanding all the laws and all the mechanics and all that it takes to understand what life is all about and who we are, and to experience the truth of our own selves. We are one by one lifting the layers of all those things that we have known, but we have never been able to penetrate fully. So today, on day 9, we're going to be talking about another beautiful law that governs this universe. In fact, it governs the entire creation, and it is the law of creative life force. It is also referred to as the principle of EFV, energy, frequency, and vibration. So everything that we see with our eyes, everything that we hear from our ears, everything that we touch with our hands, everything that we smell through our nose, and everything that we do not see and can't smell and can't touch and can't hear and can't fathom or experience, all that which is sentient and insentient, all that is on this planet and on all other planets in our universe, in our galaxy and beyond, is nothing but a manifestation of energy. Everything that has life, that has energy in it, even everything that is stationary and so-called non-living also has energy. It may not be energy in a state of movement. It may be in a state of blocked energy or inherent energy. But everything has been created out of energy. And the life force which is inside of us, and the life force that is in a plant, and the life force that is in an animal, it is one and the same. It is the same energetic principle. And all this energy which is around us and inside of us has a certain frequency, and therefore it has a certain vibration. And all beings operate at different levels of frequency and vibration. Within the human beings as well, there are some of us who operate on a higher state of frequency and vibration. Those are the enlightened ones, or the saints and sages, who are able to manifest almost out of thin air anything that their consciousness so desires. It is that principle that scientists know at the level of where science has reached, but the power of creation which is inside of us, the power of creation which we call as God, has not been understood. And Because of lack of evidence, science argues with spirituality, because there are some things that we do not know and we do not understand. And what we don't know and we don't understand, we often end up debating about it and arguing about it. But as I said, our forefathers, our ancient seers, our sages, not only understood it, they experienced it, they saw it, and they created for us a methodology for us to also experience it. Because we say that what can be experienced cannot necessarily be expressed. And the scientists have not been able to put it, in a theory or a law, and they have not been able to publish papers around it. I have a feeling that the time is coming, that this energy is going to reveal itself, and we've reached till the God particle. I have a feeling in the next 8 to 10 years, all that seemed impossible and all that we did not understand will get revealed. Not because we are doing something great that it will be revealed, but it will be revealed because the time of revelation has arrived. The principle has always been there. It is not that something new is going to happen to us or we are going to perceive something newly. We've always perceived it, but we haven't understood it. And like enlightenment comes in an instant, in a moment, we are able to experience what we have been seeking ever since we took human birth. It comes in a moment. So to that extent, it is quite digital in nature. It's like 0 and 1. It's either there or it is not there. So whatever we experience in this life and perhaps the previous lifetimes is nothing but a continuation of our getting prepared to move into a higher frequency and a higher vibration. And we are able to receive the frequency at which the universal consciousness or higher consciousness or the Brahman or the Atma, whatever word you want to call it, the soul, all this is nothing but an energetic source. And that is how, when we say concept of God, we all believe that there is a higher being. We all have a different way of relating to that being. We all have different religions talking about the same being, which is called as the creator or God, or that who can manifest anything, who can manifest our desires, who can manifest objects. It can listen and answer our prayers, and it can almost do anything. And we have tried to put that ever-present consciousness or God or a master in 3 distinguishable qualities and characteristics. These are, we say God is omniscient, God is omnipresent, and God is omnipotent. So when we say that God is omnipresent, what we mean is that God is present everywhere at all times. That's how, no matter which country we live in, no matter the physical distances, no matter the religions we follow and the languages we speak, this God is not only present, but is omniscient as well. That means that God is all-knowing. So what kind of a supercomputer it is, that it is able to listen, almost eavesdrop to all our conversations and even our thoughts. And since our conversations happen in different languages, in different dialects, even in a country like India, there are so many of us are present here, but many of us speak very different languages. So, but the God is one, and our God is able to listen to all of us. So it is omniscient, it is all-knowing. And then we say that it is omnipotent. That means it is all-powerful, it can manifest, it can create, it can do almost anything at will. Now, those are the 3 attributes that we often give to the concept of God. Now, if it is present everywhere, and if it is eavesdropping and listening to our conversations and listening to our thoughts in our head, then surely we must be able to see it, but we don't. If it can understand all the languages, then it must be a highly intelligent principle that can understand almost everything that's going on. And if it is able to create and manifest things, then again we should be able to see that power of manifestation. And since we cannot see it, but yet it still happens, that means there is something which is present everywhere, which has a lot of power and yet not visible, can only be in the form of an energy. Because energy, we know, whether we are students of science or not, we know that everything is energy, right? The reason we are breathing and the reason our body is functioning is because it's got some energy in it. And when that energy leaves, we say when the soul leaves, the pranas stop. It's not that the pranas stop and the soul leaves. It's actually when that energetic principle leaves us is when the body stops breathing and the heart stops beating. So there is some energy within us, and there is some energy that we see around us. And whatever is around us, science has been trying to constantly tap into it. And whatever technological advancements that we see around us are on the basis of what scientists have been able to do with this energy which is outside. It's a different matter that they have not been able to experience and understand and be able to express the energy which is inside of us. But a lot of advancement has been going on the EFV, the energy, frequency, and vibration of the energy that exists outside of us. So the reason we are talking about this is because at the end of the day, remember, our goal is to experience the divine consciousness or the divine spirit inside each one of us, right? And if it is inside, so whatever principle is outside, if that same principle is inside of me, then I should know, am I looking for a person? Am I looking for an entity? Am I looking for, when I say consciousness, what does it mean, right? And you would have heard now, some of you who are new to this group, you would be hearing and listening to a lot of experiences that some of the participants are sharing. A lot of sharing is happening in our WhatsApp group. And I don't know if each one of you is already part of the group or not, because whatever experiences are happening are also coming on the group. And also I've been sharing, I share many messages in the morning, which are part of what we are going to be doing. So they are part of the process that we are trying to follow. So I would actually urge, if you are interested, that you should join the WhatsApp group, because you are missing, those who are not part of it are missing a part of the story. So, they just come here and they don't get to read a lot of things that are being expressed in the group per se. So in any case, what I'm saying is that we have started on this journey that in these 40 days, we're going to experience this. We're going to experience this energetic principle which is inside of us. It has always been. It has been with us in every birth that we have taken. It's just that we've been ignorant about this energetic principle. While we are quite smart about what happens outside of us in the world, and therefore, we like to comment upon the world outside. But somehow, this divinity, this higher consciousness is what we have come to experience. And as we wake up from our ignorance, as we start awakening, as we start getting aware, as we start experiencing this consciousness, it is imperative that our energy will rise, the frequency at which this energy will vibrate will keep going higher and higher and higher. And that is why a lot of you in the group are experiencing intense energy for quite some time now. And I must tell you this, and I've been telling them that it's going to go up and up and up. Our body is being readied. We have a vessel, and that vessel has a certain capacity, and that capacity is being upgraded slowly. And our ability to hold that energy is being improved, increased slowly, because when that intense energy comes, we will not be able to take it. It's so powerful. Last night we had a meditation, and in that meditation, there was a healing experience that came in. There is a lot of people who started to receive this healing energy. What is this healing energy? Why and how it can travel? When we do a meditation, we are almost people from 4 different continents in this group at this point of time. But instantly, as we speak and as we direct this energy moves everywhere. Now, a scientist will say, how is that possible? How can you at will, and just by focusing, how can you direct this energy? And how this energy can be perceived by others? Okay. So that is something that you have to experience to understand this happens. We cannot debate about this. We cannot argue about this. But once we experience it, then you are free to draw your own conclusions. And that's why they say, once that higher energy is received, is experienced, and you get into that state of bliss. Right now, we are all trying to come to grips with this higher energy. But once we reach that steady state of consciousness, where that energy is constantly flowing through you, you are blissed out. You are not at all concerned with what's happening outside, because you have experienced directly that what's happening outside in the world is nothing but a reaction, reflection, and resound of your inner self. This is what Guru Nanak's message was yesterday, that is how we project into the world. When we are confused, when we are fearful, when we are anxious, and when we are argumentative, and when we are angry, then that is what we will always receive back from the world. It's the energy principle. Whatever energy we give is the energy that we receive back. That is how this energy operates. Everybody else, this whole of this universe, which we call as Maya, is nothing but the experience that we are receiving. It is what we are projecting, which is coming back to us. I will give you a small experience that I got many years back. In one of my meditations, my master, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, he came to me in my meditation, and I said, how is it that you are unaffected by all that goes on in this world? He said, you want to experience how I remain unaffected? I said, yes. He said, come with me. And he took me to a place where there was absolute silence. My mind was absolutely still. And we soon reached a place where there was a beautiful chair, which was all lit up. It had a radiance and a glow of its own. And he said, come. And he went and sat on it. And he just extended his right hand outwards. And as he extended his right hand, one more smaller chair got manifested next to him. And he asked me to sit down. So I sat there and absolutely still. And when I saw in the front, I saw that there was a white screen, almost about 5 or 6 meters high. And it just went on to the entire length of the horizon. As far as I could see, there was this big white screen. And I was wondering what it was when I suddenly realized that there were some thoughts that were coming in my mind. And as I saw those thoughts, as I was experiencing the thoughts, I saw those thoughts were actually getting projected on that big screen. And I said, oh my God, whatever I'm thinking is actually getting projected. And I could see that, he could see everything that's going on in my mind. So I tried hard to try and control my thoughts. And the more I was trying to control my thoughts, the more thoughts were coming, And that's how it works with the mind. You try and stop the mind, and the mind starts to, play with you. And I said, oh, and I could see him just smiling and watching. So then he looked at me. I said, oh, so now I see. That's how you're able to read, what's going on in my mind. He smiled. So, but I said, how come you're not getting disturbed by it? He says, why? It's a show going on. I'm just watching what's going on. I just witnessed. I said, okay. And then I saw some people were walking towards us. They didn't see us. They were not aware of our presence. But I saw them walking, and I saw that as they were talking, and some of them were not talking, but yet whatever was happening between them was also beginning to get projected on the white screen. And And it started to slowly, the white screen started to get full, and you could see there were so many, thoughts that were overlapping. And I saw some thoughts were in conflict with the thoughts of the others. And I realized that, those conflict in those thoughts were causing challenges. They were, creating all the, actions. And some were getting angry, some were getting happy, some were feeling loved. And I saw my master watching there. And he said, if you want to enjoy this, you also sit like me and watch everything. So he gave me this understanding of two things, that whole karma starts from the thoughts. And because there are billions of us and each has thoughts which are not pure and selfless, because of our selfish nature, our thoughts conflict. Because, we're all obsessed by me and my family and my needs. And therefore, it comes in conflicts with the needs of others. And therefore, all this karma and all this upheaval that we see in the world starts from there. And I saw this entity called God, or entity called Divine Master, was actually doing nothing to create karma. It was just a mere witness of what was going on. And he said, if you want to be a witness, you can come and sit next to me. What does it mean to sit next to God? What it means is to become thoughtless. As soon as my thoughts stopped, I stopped projecting on the screen. And since I did not have any projection on the universal screen of karma, there was no other thought which was conflicting my thought. And I was taught a very beautiful principle of how life operates. And ultimately, the thought itself has energy, as we spoke yesterday, because it is the intensity of our thought. When we say intensity of thought, it means that we are putting energy to our thoughts. That bhava, we spoke about bhavam, that bhava is the energy. And when a thought gets the energy, it becomes like an arrow and it has to go and hit its target. And therefore it manifests. And that is the creative principle, the energetic principle which has created this whole world. This is how everything came into being, including us. And this is how we can ourselves not only experience our energy, I can tap into everybody's energy, because there is no two energies. There is only one energy. And that is what links. Yesterday in my meditation, I said, there is a ring of white light with which everybody is now joined. Many of you may have thought that I am just using some imaginary words, right? And let's just participate in what he's saying. But actually, a ring of light actually gets formed. And that light is everywhere. Once you're able to connect on the frequency and vibration of that, you're able to connect to that one common life force which is there in all of us. Okay? And that is what we are beginning to, I'm making you understand the principle behind it, so that when the experiences start coming, to many they are coming, to many they will start coming. And we will go deeper and deeper into this understanding to know that when we say there is God inside of us, that there is a divine inside of us, and there is a consciousness inside of us, it is nothing but an energetic presence. And when that presence gets revealed to us, it is uncomfortable in the beginning. Some of them call it as the Kundalini Shakti, the serpent of power and energy which is coiled up in our Mooladhara chakra. Slowly, that energy starts to rise from the Mooladhara chakra and moves through the other chakras and moves upward. And it moves, so the base chakra is where Ganesha is present at the Mooladhara. And then Ganesha hands over that energy to the Swadhisthana chakra, where Mother, Goddess Durga, is present. She's the one who's the creative life force. The protector of this energy is Ganesha. But as this energy comes, this energy, the whole of creation has been created by the Mother. It's the Mother Nature, which has manifested this. And this Mother then travels with this energy. Ultimately, it comes up to the third eye, where the third eye of Shiva brings it into alignment and moves to the Sahasra Chakra, which is the formless consciousness principle or the Shiva principle. The union of Shakti and Shiva happens. Okay, so a lot of you would be experiencing over the time a lot of intense energy on the Sahasra Chakra. For example, all my waking time in my sleep, my head is pulsating with energy. It is so strong that sometimes I feel my whole body, is jerking because the energy is now moving very, very intensely. So we keep experiencing, it's like, I wish there was a measuring device like the blood pressure apparatus or some other thing which could tell you what is the energy level today, right? Or like, you prick your finger and you do your, blood sugar test and say, okay, today this is what it is. But, we should be able to check the pressure of the energy there as well. But I'm just trying to tell you that this is true for all of us. This is true even for the animals, and this is true for the plants. We can, a lot of people, there are some very beautiful souls in our group as well, who can communicate with the animals. Okay, there are people who are able to communicate with the plants as well. What this communication is, this communication happens through this one common energetic life principle. Okay, so this is what I had to share with you today about the journey of experiencing that one consciousness. It is one, it is not two, right? So we will discuss the aspect of two tomorrow. All right. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for being here. As I said, all this is coming from the source of consciousness. Some of you may not be believing my words. Some of you may think, let's see where this craziness will go. I can only tell you that if everything that is going to happen to you during these 40 days is entirely dependent upon you and you alone, because I actually do not exist. You must understand that if you take this with full surrender and faith that it is coming from there, then everything is going to happen for you. But if you say, okay, we'll see, let's see, we are half in and half out, we will experience half in and half out, right? Therefore, it is important to be intensely seeking it and to have complete belief and faith, at least for this time, that we are going to go in it fully without, putting any kind of a barriers of our minds and doubts and questions, right? So with that, and as I said, I would urge, if you want to join the group, then it will help you to tune in with what's really going on during the day as well. So thank you so much. God bless all of you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Samast Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samast Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samast Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram.